What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's Manga Sutra Manga review, and in this week's video, we're going to be talking about a school life sports drama called Ballroom Youkoso. Now, the manga starts off with our main character, Tatara, who is a middle schooler on his last year, looking at his prospects for the future. Now, I empathize with Tatara because he wants to have a skill or a talent that he is confident in and that he's passionate about. And I think a lot of us can empathize with him from a high school or college perspective, because a lot of us really have no idea what we're doing, and we're kind of just navigating throughout life and trying to figure out what path we really want to go on. Now, while he's trying to get all that sorted out, he spots another classmate of his also having trouble figuring out what they want to do in the future, and this gives him a sense of relief because this intelligent and cute girl is also having problems, and so his problems seem a lot less specific to him. Now, on his way home, Tatara is kind of making up his mind that he wants to work part-time instead of go to school. So he stops in front of a flyer that is for part-time recruitment. Now, while he's looking at this flyer, three guys, I assume that are from his school, harass him about money for food. Now, while he's being harassed, a badass on a motorcycle shows up, says bullying is wrong, and hands the bullies a crap ton of money. Now, little do we know, this badass on a motorcycle is a dance instructor named Sengoku. Now, he confuses Tatara standing in front of the post as Tatara being interested in dance lessons, as there is a flyer for dance lessons right up under the part-time recruitment. So he literally escorts Tatara all the way to the dance studio, introduces him to another staff member at the dance studio named Tamaki, and they give Tatara the rundown of the lessons, the fees, and so on and so forth, and offer him a free trial. Now, Tatara seems reluctant at first, but when he is incentivized by the idea of being able to be in physical contact with girls from both Tamaki and Sengoku, he jumps on the free trial offer, and Tatara seems to really enjoy the class. He seems to really have fun. But then he sees the girl from school whose name is Shizuku, and we find out that she is a pretty good dancer and that she is also somebody that is dancing at the studio. And he has a brief little dance with her, but we see this nice, nerdy girl from school turn into like this fierce girl that's saying, "Are you really here because you're a pervert, or you're just really not that serious about it?" And Tatara is kind of taken aback to this, because he feels like he doesn't really belong there. He's also worried that Shizuku is going to go back to the school, tell everyone that Tatara is kind of a sissy for wanting to dance. But for the most part, after the free trial dance lesson is over, Tamaki tries to get Tatara to sign up for more lessons, but Tatara, he's reluctant about it. He really doesn't feel like he belongs there. Not because he doesn't enjoy dancing, not because he hates it, but because he kind of feels like he's not up to the standard as the rest of the people at the dance studio. So he storms out. But little do we know that Tamaki is such a brilliant PR specialist. She slides a disc of Sengoku's previous performances as a dance champion into Tatara's bag. So when he gets home, he looks at the DVD, he sees Sengoku's performance, and he is captivated by it. And Tamaki set it up brilliantly, because by sliding the DVD into Tatara's bag, he has to watch it. He would get lured into it. And, the message specifically said to bring the DVD back, so he would have to come back to the dance studio and face them one way or another. So that's exactly what Tatara does. But he comes across the three assholes from yesterday, and they are kind of pissed because that shit ton of money that badass on the motorcycle gave them is fake currency, and they kind of got arrested for that. They kind of got in trouble for it. And they want to know specifically where this guy is at so they can beat the ever-living shit out of him. So Tatara, for a minute, he's like, well, what Sengoku and Tamaki have, that has nothing to do with me. But then Tatara, finally gains some balls, and he's like, no, those are good people. They didn't do anything wrong to me, and I'm not gonna let three assholes just go to the dance studio and harass them. So Tatara takes one for the team, and is about to get the crap beaten out of him when Sengoku comes to the rescue again, and brings him back to the dance studio. Now, Tatara originally returns the DVD, but Tamaki talks to Tatara about his opinion on the disc and Sengoku's performance, and Tatara explains how he fell in love with the performance and how he felt excited just to see Sengoku perform. And this is where we see Tatara really start to come out of his shell, because Tatara, he comes to the realization that he really wants to learn about dancing. He really wants to be a part of it, and that he's willing to do anything. So he knows he can't afford it right now, so he offers to do cleaning and everything until he works a part-time job and until he can pay for the classes. Now Tamaki and Sengoku, really desperate for new students and generous as well, they accept his offer, but Sengoku is a little more hard on Tatara, because Tatara says that he wants to one day be as good as Sengoku, that he wants to compete competitively, that he wants to dance competitively. And Sengoku, superficially, Sengoku, calmly brushes it off and, is joking with Tatara, but he has Tatara dance the basic box for about a good 20-30 minutes, and has him do some other types of training until he says stop. When Tamaki says, "Why are you being so hard on him? Why aren't you teaching him more interesting things?" We learn that Sengoku really wasn't chill about Tatara's statements. In fact, he felt insulted that this person that has no experience with dancing, this beginner, just comes up into the dance studio and says that he wants to be just as good as a professional, a pro, a champion. And Sengoku takes it as, like a low-key diss, because he feels like, am I really that amateur that somebody can just walk up in here and say that they are going to be as good as I was? So, and in Sengoku's own way, he's kind of punishing Tatara by having him do these muscle training exercises over and over and over and over and over again, because he hopes that Tatara is going to give up or quit. Because in Sengoku's mind, Tatara really isn't serious about this, or if Tatara is serious about this, it's just a fleeting type of interest that's going to go away in a couple of days. But as we see, Tatara is a go-getter. He's made his mind up on this, and he is going to stick to this dance passion of his. So Tatara practices the routine so much that the whole floor is covered with his sweat, that his feet are just covered with blisters and everything. And Shizuku, she walks in the morning around nighttime and helps Tatara with his dance routine and corrects his posture and some of his form. And by the end of chapter 2, we can see that Sengoku is kind of impressed with Tatara, because he didn't really teach Tatara much. He just kind of left Tatara to his own devices to practice the routine over and over again, and he admitted that Tatara's form is not that bad. It's actually pretty nice for not teaching him squat. So, I'm kind of interested to see how Ballroom Youkoso is going to go, because, for number one, I really like the main character, Tatara. I really like how he came out of his shell in the last 2 chapters. I really hope that Shizuku isn't his love interest. As nice as Shizuku seems to be, and as cute as she seems to be, I just think it's too obvious a love interest. I hope that another girl comes along down the way in later chapters, but I just really hope that Shizuku isn't like the end series love interest for Tatara. I think he can do a little bit more better, and I think it would be a lot more interesting if she's not the love interest. At least the obvious one. Now, as for Sengoku, I have mixed feelings about him. Like, the dude is clearly, he's just clearly cool. And his facial expressions and some of the pranks that he pulls are just amazing. He's childish most of the time, but he can get really serious when he wants to. But, also, I kind of don't like how he's being hard on Tatara. I can understand where he's coming from, and I can understand the reasoning behind his saltiness towards Tatara's statements of wanting to compete, of wanting to dance competitively. But, gotta give Tatara some slack. Tatara is really becoming passionate about something for once in his life. And he's really kind of going balls in on it. And the last thing he needs is somebody like Sengoku, who he looks up to just kind of shit on him. But from a plot standpoint, this does seem to follow a linear point A to point B type of plot progression. And I've talked about it in a video before. But what I mean by point A to point B is we start out with the talentless main character who is thrown into a situation where they have a new passion or, awaken some type of new ability or talent within themselves that sets them on a journey or puts them on a goal to become either the very best at something or to take down a big player at the end of the series or something like that. And we see that here where we have Tatara, who starts off as this guy with no talent who wants to have a skill or a talent that he's confident about. He's thrown into a situation involuntarily where he is introduced to the dance studio. He finds himself attracted to the idea of dancing competitively, and after seeing Sengoku's performance, he finds himself also wanting to be one of the best dancers in the world as well. Now, it's linear from a plot point of view, but I also really like the fact that it's about dancing, and that really brings me back to the fact that manga makes everything cool. And, you could be doing drugs in manga. It looks cool. You could, be killing somebody in a manga. It looks cool. And, everything in manga looks cool. You could have a manga about chess, checkers, lacrosse, anything. Manga makes it look cool. Now, artwork, it's very detailed. I think the amount of detail specifically put into Tatara's character is amazing. And, with a lot of manga, in the first few chapters, it's a little bit rough, but as the manga progresses, the artwork gets a lot more crisp. It gets a lot more defined, and it gets a lot more specialized. And that puts it apart from other different types of mangas in that category. Would I recommend reading Ballroom Youkoso? Yes. I mean, how many mangas can you really legitimately say are about ballroom dancing? Let's just be honest. How many can you really say are about it and actually make ballroom dancing look cool? How many? Just be honest with me. But this is VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. What do you think about this manga? If there are other mangas that you want me to talk about and read, leave it in the comment section below. Bye.